Sure.
Okay. We're up to the Mishna, right? We got up to the Mishna. Yeah, okay. So Sukkah mavui, yeah? The top of Chafez Amud Aleph. We all there?
Yeah.
Okay. So Sukkah mavui. So Rashi said in the Gemara, there's going to be a Machlokes in the Gemara exactly what a Sukkah mavui is, but it means a Sukkah with some sort of messed up schach. And if it has more shade than sun, then kosher, then it's kosher. So the shayla in the Gemara is going to be whether this is two different halachas or one halacha. It's going to be a Machlokes, meaning Sukkah mavui, and then shetzilas meruim chamasa, or is it one thing? So it's kosher. Then hamauva kimin bias if the schach is thick enough that it mamash makes like a house. Even though you can't see the stars, then it's kosher. So this goes contrary to what many people say, that you have to be able to see the stars. You have to see exactly where that comes from, because this Mishnah clearly is saying that if it's very thick, then it's fine. Then it's still kosher. So Zog the Gemara, my meduvlelis. What does it mean meduvlelis? Amarav sukkah aniyah, it's a poor sukkah, meaning there's a poor amount of schach on there. So, and even though there's a poor amount of schach, as long as there's more shade than sun, then it's fine. Yeah, fine. For Shmuel, Omar Shmuel says kana oila v'kana yored. What it is a kana that goes up and it's a kana that goes down, meaning it's sort of like how do you call it? A reed that goes up and it goes down, meaning they're not. It's staggered. Yeah, which I don't know if the Olam remembers the guy that wanted to make the schach that didn't rain in. Anybody remember that? They shot it down. He basically made like
it was like a U-shaped.
Right, two U's, one go interlocking so that the rain would run off onto the other one, and
was it
and
interlocking,
then it would run off
or was
one? No, it wasn't interlocking, because then it wouldn't be kosher. It was one below the other. It was like staggered. Right? Yeah. I have nothing. I'm visiting too, so I have nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. So that's something similar to this. Either way, continues what the Machlokes is. Rav Tani Chada, Shmuel Tani Tarti. Rav learned the Mishnah that it's one case, and Shmuel learned the Mishnah it's two different cases. Rav Tani Chada, Sukkah miduvlelis, right? So it's one case. It's a Sukkah miduvlelis, which is like a poor man's Sukkah. My miduvlelis, and what's miduvlelis? Midudelis, right? It means that it's lousy. Shefilasa meruba mechamasa, but it still has more shade than sun, and it's kosher. Yeah? So he's saying it's one case, and the second line of the Mishnah is coming to describe the first line in the Mishnah. That again, that it's a sukkah that's miduvlelis, which means it's a lousy, but it still has more shade than sun. Right? That's the first shot. Shmuel, Tani Tarti, Shmuel.
What makes it lazy?
Not lousy. I said lousy.
Oh,
meaning
lousy.
It just doesn't have enough. I'll tell you, a Meister Shoyar capping with your father.
No.
I was once at Uncle Itzik, and we were sitting in your father's sukkah, and your father didn't have so much schach. So Uncle Itzik was going at him like, this is a sukkah that's got more shade, more sun than shade.
Oh, that must have been fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what it is. Meaning, when you look up at it, it has a very lousy amount of schach. But push comes to shove, there's more shade than sun.
Uh-huh.
That's what he's saying. Rob is saying that the Mishnah means it's a lousy schach, but what's the third word in the Mishnah? But it still has more shade than sun, so therefore it's okay. All right, that's the way Rob says it. Yeah? Shmuel says no, Tani Tarti. He said it's two different cases. My miduvlelas, mivulvelas. Miduvlelas means it's mavulvel, which literally means mixed up, which means that it's one higher and then one lower. The Tarti Katani is two dinim taught in the first line in the Mishna. Sukka mivulvelas kshera. If you have it staggered with one piece of schach is up, one piece of schach is down. Vitzi losam ruv mechamasa. And if you have a sukkah that has more shade than sun, then it's kosher. Right? Meaning, even though there might be more sun than shade coming in because it's staggered, but if you would look at the pieces as if they would drop down, then it would be more shade than sun. So therefore, Shmuel is saying that we look at it as if it's more shade than sun, even though in the practical it may not have more shade than sun.
Why would someone do it like that? Why would someone make it staggered? What would be the point if
I don't know. Maybe because he would want more air. Maybe get air in the sukkah. Or I don't know.
Why?
What would be the point of it?
According to Shmuel, even if there's actual more sunlight than shade, we look at it. We look at it as if they're on the same level. Why do we do that? In the din, where did Shmuel get that from? The din is it has to be more shade than sun. Not it has to look like there's more. If we looted sir, they would have been on the same level. Like, where does he come with the extra chiddush that it's not the practical mitzias that it actually has to be?
No, it's a major chiddush.
Where does he get it from? That's not what the Mishnah says.
Well, not everybody agrees. This is the way Rashi learns the pshat. Right? That's the way Rashi learns pshat in the Gemara. Right? Yeah. But I mean, there's kashas. Your kashas, the obvious kasha. That you can't just say more shade than sun. It has to be a practical more shade and not just a virtual.
I'm saying in the first Mishnah we learned about these siurim where they if the walls create problems with the shade, like
right. Yeah, and Hanami, that's part of what's the chiddush of Shmuel's din. Yeah, well, let's see weiter because we'll get into this whole thing with Chavod Rami and all that. Let's see. So Amar Abaya, then we continue with this. Amar Abaya loishanu, meaning this case where it's according to Shmuel, the schach is staggered. Loishanu ela she'ein bein zeh lezeh shloisha tefachim. Didn't teach us this din only when there's no 3 tefachim between this one and that one. Aval yesh bein zeh lezeh gimel tefachim passul. But if there's 3 tefachim in between each schach, then it's passul. Meaning when you go vertical, right? If you have one schach on, let's say, the level of the sukkah, and then you have one schach more than 3 tefachim above that, then it's not going to work. That's the way Abaya says it. And Rava says, "Afilu yesh bein zeh lezeh shloisha." Even if it's more than 3 tefachim, nami loy amar el she'ein begaga tefach. That's only when there's the width of each schach is not a tefach. Aval yesh begaga tefach. But if the width of each schach is a tefach, then kshera, it is kosher damrina chavod rami, because we say a major halacha l'moshe b'sinai, which is that we say that the piece of board, we look at it as if it drops straight down, right? Yeah, which is a chiddush, meaning we had this in Erevin. Chavod rami is similar to what do you call it? Tikrah yard v'soisim, right? That we looked at like at the edge of the wood as if it goes down, and it encloses, right? So we say the same thing. We say the same thing by covering that good tikrah is. I wish we had on there. Tikrah is you look at the side as if it's down. Chavod rami is you look at it flat piece. Right. So basically, what Abai is saying that it needs to be lavud, otherwise the schach is no good. Which Akiva is what you're really asking, like what does lavud shape? But Abai is saying that as long as it's within lavud, we look at it like it's covered schach. Right? But Rabbi says no, it's not a din in lavud, it's a din in chavod rami, which is another lach l'moshe, which is basically any flat piece of wood that comes down, we look at it like it drops straight down, but it could be totally from the sky. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see the Gemara Vayt exactly what Chavod Rami is. So let's see. Samar Rava, Mina Mina Lo, Dechi Ispe Tefach Amrina Chavod Rami, Dechi Lespe Tefach, Dechi Lespe Lo Amrina Chavod Rami. How do I know that if it has a tefach wide, then you say that we look at that whole board as if it drops straight down, and if it doesn't have a tefach width, then it doesn't drop straight down. The Tanan. Hold on a second. Sorry. I don't know what. Yeah, so the Tanan, if you have beams of a house and a second floor, Sheina Leim Maziva, and it doesn't have on it, they weren't finished. Vein Mechavonos, and they're equal. Basically, what it is if Aaron Kaplan, you posted pictures of this, right?
Yes, I did. It's there.
Yeah, so basically, if you have 2-floor house, an unfinished house, and you have the boards directly on top of each other. Yes, if you have the boards directly on top of each other, then the question is, do we look at the boards as if they fell down one on top of the other or not? Right? So again, Curtis Abayis will be, and it's upstairs. And there's one on top of the other one. If the tumah is under one of the lower floorboards, under that beam, but it's something tumah between the first floor beams and the second floor beams. They may have anything between the sides.
Am I the only one that doesn't hear anything he's saying? Only patches?
No,
It's
you
very
were not.
garbled over here also.
No, I was about to say the same thing.
Okay.
What's the problem?
You're cutting in and out. Lord,
We can't hear you.
We need to buy you a
Okay.
tinfoil hat.
Still schmuck?
Yeah.
Is it still lousy? We still lousy?
Not great, but
That
better.
sounds a little better.
I don't know. I'm on the phone. I'm not even on the internet. But I guess Avi says it's still the internet.
Jacob, where are you? It's so bad.
Now you're okay, though.
I went to take my kid to the refuah mobile, and then the refuah mobile didn't call me, so now I'm chasing it all over the country. I'm in Camp Benos, I think, in their parking lot.
Right.
You hear me now, or where's Parrots? Parrots is there.
He's on, but he's not here. What do you need?
So maybe is it clear now?
A little bit better.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I can see what's stuffed.
No, I'm just wondering. Maybe I should call you, and then you splice me into Zoom, and then it shouldn't be using my internet.
You want to give it a shot? What does that mean? What are you calling me? You're calling
Okay,
in.
well, meanwhile,
now it's
I
working.
call
Jacob,
you on
meanwhile,
regular
you're good
phone.
now.
Meanwhile, we're good. Okay. Anyways, okay, I'm sorry. So I'll go back. So how do you know? Again, we're trying to prove that you say Chavod Rami, right? Which is again any flat board that's a tefach wide. We look at it as if it goes straight down. So Rav is trying to prove how you know that a tefach wide. So you have to go back a few lines. If you have beams of a house and aliyah and second floor, they don't have any pitch on it. So basically, it's a skeleton of a house. And they're exactly equal. The top level is exactly, the boards are exactly, again, they're spaced. The boards are spaced. And the top boards are exactly, perfectly on top of the bottom boards. So then we're not talking about too much. So Tuma Tachas Achsmei, if it's under one of them, meaning of the bottom board, Tachtei Tamei, whatever's under that board with it is going to be Tamei because it's Tumas oil. But if there's a Tuma between the bottom wood and the top wood, Beinei and Tamei, in between is Tamei, Al Gabe El Yoina, but if it's on top of the top level, then obviously there's nothing covering it. So anything that goes above that, let's say it's a mace on top of the top wood, so connect the Adlarakia Tamei. From there, anywhere up to the sky that flies over, it's going to be Tamei. Yeah, that's if it, that's one case. Hayuel Yaina, the Beinat Tachtaina, but let's say the top floor's wood is staggered and the top level is the equivalent of the bottom level. Right? Meaning if you would drop down the second floor's pieces of wood, they would, and if you drop them down onto the first floors, it would make the first floor perfectly flat. Meaning they're in between. Right? The first case, again, was they're directly on top of each other, the floorboards. And the second case is that they're staggered so that if they would fall, to drop down to the top, to the bottom, then it would be one flat floor. Is that understandable? So anyway, I hope so. So anyways.
It's the picture.
So
if anybody's looking, it's the pictures with the brick houses. There's 4 of them.
Yeah, okay, so thank you. So if the top ones are going to fall the same place as the bottom ones, under them, meaning under any of the lower or the upper boards, tachas kulon tame, then anything that's under there is going to be considered tame. Al gabeyan, right? But it's on top of one of them. Kenegdon al rakia, then it's tame. From on top of it until the rakia is going to be tame, right? The Tani Allah, right? And we learned on this. That's only when there's in between each board is a tefach, right? And I'm sorry, and meaning in between each board is a tefach, and each board is a tefach. If there isn't between, if the tum on the right? And on top of that is top. Whatever board.
You're cutting out again.
I'm here.
What?
I'm here.
Oh, can you guys hear me now? You can.
Right now, yes. Right now, yes.
Okay, so then let's continue. Alma. So we see ki is be tefach amrin on chavet rami. When
Now you're back out.
Okay, listen. I need somebody. This is not so complicated what I want to do. I just need to call somebody on a regular phone, and that somebody will conference me.
That somebody will be
Zoom.
on mute. So it's Yaakov, call me. Or call its parents, either one.
No, you don't have to do on mute. You can conference me and call Zoom phone number, and then it should be fine.
Okay, so I guess we could try. Oh, what's the Zoom phone number?
Well, what?
Yaakov, I'll call you and then I'll call into the Zoom.
You know Zoom's phone number?
Yep.
All right, fine. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Have a commercial break.
Yeah.
I said maybe we could sell the slots. Yossi, what do you think we could get for 30 seconds during a Thursday night daf?
Not a bad idea.
Right?
How you thinking? Where's Rupi? I'm sure Darche would buy it for a couple bucks. Maybe they could throw a charity campaign up or something. Ad for the new building, maybe.
Zevi missed a good night, you're saying?
Yeah.
Paris, you got to unmute your phone now. Paris, I can't do it because it's a phone.
Sure you can.
How am I doing it?
You click on it and unmute or ask to unmute. Ravenna, how do you unmute?
Star 6. Star 6 unmutes.
Maybe it doesn't allow me to unmute because I'm in a conference call. Tiago, try to hit star 6. Yeah.
Paris, now he's off completely. There you go.
Nope. I can see. I can see.
Yeah,
You can hear me now?
I do.
Okay. You guys hear him?
Yeah, we hear him.
You hear me now?
We just did.
What?
Yeah, we heard you.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm just trying to do a little better service and then well, maybe.
Yeah, I could see. You there?
Byron, maybe you could jump in. You already gave the daf today. You already learned the daf already today. I mean,
We could use a pinch hitter from time to time.
right.
Yeah. I forgot it all at the Met game today.
Right here.
Well, I gotta sign out a little early because I have another share I gotta go to right now. So someone could make the request. Maybe tomorrow we start learning a little early to make up for tonight.
Possibly.
Just someone could make that suggestion just because I gotta run to my other share now. Have a good night, everybody.
What do you think?
Good night.
All right, you got him there. You lost him again.
I just hung up on him, so.
That's very good.
The only just know that the next block, the Amud Beis is very short, so it helps us a little bit. Tough Gimel Amud Beis is very short.
All right, look at you, a whole blot ahead already. Look at this, gee. I told you you could pinch hit.
I just turned the page. I didn't learn anything. I just was looking when
In
Jesse
the arts
was,
call, it's a lot of pages to turn. Okay, one
yeah,
second, I see it now. Okay.
when Jesse was saying that. So Tough Gimel Amud Beis is very short. So
That's Matzah Shabbos, though.
unless you wanted to be one of the Bali Taisus, then it's not so short. But
Stay clear of that.
no, that would be Erev Shabbos's daf.
Oh, that's what it. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So
I think this is Liner's fault because he's out for bike for Chai today.
they're probably interfering with the wives because they're on the phone while they're riding.
Oh, yeah, I wonder if we got rained out, Taka. Now I think about it.
Oh yeah. Does he have, well, Dovey Lang is in the country. Is there reindeer?
I don't know.
All right, 2 more minutes.
What time is it?
Does anybody understand what chayvet rami is?
I defer to Gershon.
Yeah, means when you have two levels and they're not parallel with each other, the top level drops down into the slots that the bottom level makes.
Like Lego, basically. Or
Well,
puzzle piece.
Like Tetris.
Oh, that's good.
Like Tetris, yeah,
good.
that's a good one.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what Tetris means. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about.
Somebody play the song.
What?
Please don't.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, you all seem to know. I don't know what it is.
It's a computer game, Aaron. It's an old computer game from back in the day.
He's one generation removed from that, Aaron.
I hear it. I mean, if
most people here are like.
One second. If I would say Tetris to my kids, they would have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right.
We're the sandwich generation.
Right. Akiva, I called my son's Nintendo Switch a Game Boy. He looked at me like I fell off the moon. It's not a Game Boy. What's a Game Boy?
It's interesting. Those gaming systems are actually quite antiquated already. Also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they refuse to upgrade them.
Huh.
Aaron, they let Nintendo Switch in camp.
He's not in camp now. He's home.
He's not in camp. He's home.
Baron, your friend came out of retirement again today, so that was you? You were the thing, Dr. Glott.
What was he my friend? I mean,
I thought you were busy with him back in the day. No?
Dr. Glott?
With the COVID stuff. He came back, Baruch Hashem, he started up again. Mm-hmm.
I have nothing against him. I don't know him at all.
I thought it was you. I don't remember who was talking about him.
I think everyone picked a side with it back in the day.
What?
Everyone had one side or the other with him.
Oh.
So he came out with new things now, this, that, you know.
Well, because of the CDC mask thing?
Yep.
Ay, ay, ay.
What did he say?
Yeah, he put a whole write-up already. The youngest at Woodman went back to masks.
Real? Yeah.
Yeah, and the RCA and the OU are meeting next week in general, and they'll see where the numbers are and the cases, whatever, you know. And it doesn't make a
We're
difference.
still going to tell you to get vaccinated, right?
Aaron, raise the prices for Yom Narayim.
It's at all high premium, you're saying. Yeah. I mean, de Blasio said today, I think that Monday is making up this announcement or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh, I see Tsiako's back on now.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try it this way. The internet is not working. I really apologize. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Anyways. So where do we leave off here? Alma, whatever. So basically what we're saying is that when there's one tefach of wood and it drops down, then we say chavad rami. So we hear from this that as long as you're splitting a tefach wide, then you say that we look at that wood that it drops down. So now the practical, it's not so practical, but the issue that comes up, I think we discussed when we did Erevin, is that if you have a hospital, right? So the hospital is a chashash that there's a mace in there. But sometimes, like in Manhattan, you have a building that's right up against the hospital, and the building, so there's a space, but the building has a ledge, which if you would drop down the ledge, it would land right down on top. If you virtually drop down the ledge, it would land right down on top of the hospital. In which case, any kohen that's in even the neighboring building, and then maybe in the building after that, is considered under the same oil as a mace. Right? So if you say Chabad Rami, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does that
Yeah,
have
so,
a tefach b'neim though? That's
Well,
attached.
no, but if it, as long as it has a tefach of thickness, then we look at it as if it drops it down.
Yeah, but it needs a tefach b'neim also.
Right, so there is a tefach b'neim. Well, that's actually a machlokes. It depends. It's a three-way machlokes rishonim if you require the tefach b'neim or not. Right?
Why
So
would why would the
if you-
tefach b'neim matter? Why isn't it just
why
about
should
the
it
fact
care
that
whether you say Chabad Rami?
Right, just say if it's a tefach above it, it could drop down. Meaning, who cares? Let it drop down and take up space in between the on top of the boards.
Oh, we're trying to make one flat surface.
Why
That's the
you're
point.
trying to cover the whole surface? Why does it have to be flat?
That's what any mechitza generally does.
You
This is all in
would still
mechitzas.
cover it. Let's say the space in between is less than a tefach, and the above it is more than a tefach, and it's between it. Why can't it drop down and close it?
Because there's no such thing as a mechitza.
Like I said, why are
A
we playing
mechitza is a
touches? So it
flat
has to be
surface.
fit exactly in. Why
Okay,
can't it
let's
cover the whole
hold
thing?
on. Let's handle this later because I feel bad. We put everybody on hold. Hold on. We'll hold on and we'll discuss it. Let's finish and then we'll discuss it. Yeah. So, anyways, so 6 lines up. So 7 lines up in the bottom. So Yosef Rav Kahana v'Kamer Laha Shmaitza. Rav Kahana was sitting. He said over the Shmaitza. Amar le Rav Ashi Rav Kahana v'Chol Heichad the less pay tefach Chavod Rom. Where any time that there's no tefach, we don't say Chavod Rom. If we have this case a few blot ago, again, when you have a dead end street, so the way to make it mutter is to put a beam just across, and then you're allowed to carry that. So beam coming out on this wall, all the way to the wall. The same stake you have 2 beams. The public mishlosh, if it's less than if it's less than 3 to each other, you need to bring another.
Just
Jack, we're losing you again.
Yeah, you've got again.
You gotta be. Yeah, Ben Gamliel.
Tiago, we lost you.
We lost you. We can't hear you.
Gee, this is totally insane. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just drive. You hear me now?
I mean,
Not well.
Like the famous, it's like that Verizon commercial.
Shiloh's, you work for Sprint or Verizon now?
Yeah.
I'm a Verizon guy. What should I tell you?
Parrots, we have to get the rabbi a satellite phone.
I was just about to say that.
No, I'm usually, but when I'm in camp, it's fun. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is it's Thursday night till Sunday night. It's totally insane. It can't hold the amount of data that's coming through on the weekend. Are we good now or we're not good?
Better.
It's better?
A drop, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so anyways, Rav Shimon Gamliel says, I'll tell my base now, Pachas me arba, if it's less than 4, ain't tzarich lavi kaira acheres. You don't need to bring another beam. Right? Which is stam. This is a sheet that we haven't seen yet. Right? Which is,
I think we saw it in Arabic, no? The sheet of that lavud is for.
Yeah.
Lavud. Yeah, I'm saying that we haven't seen it in Sukkah.
Oh.
Right? That pachas me arba ain't tzarich lavi kaira acheres. Arba tzarich lavi kaira acheres. He holds that lavud is 4 tefachim, not 3 tefachim. Right? Fine. We still haven't gotten to the kasha. V'chein shtei kairos hamatimas. If you have 2 beams that are matimas, like twin beams, but each one is less than a tefach. Loi bezu kedei l'kabel riach, and this one cannot accept a half a brick. Loi bezu kedei l'kabel riach, and this one can't accept a half a brick. So we said that the thickness of a kaira has to be enough that it can have a half a brick, which a half a brick, right? A brick is considered 1.5. Is a regular brick is 3 tefachim, half a brick is 1.5 tefachim. Right? So if each one of them doesn't have enough to be makabel riach, the im makabel is the riach l'rach by tefach. If you can put it on the width of tefach, ain't tzarich lavi kaira acheres. You don't need to bring another beam. And if not, tzarich lavi kaira acheres, you do need to bring another beam. Shem Gamliel Aimer, im makabel is the riach l'arkoi shloisha tefachim. He says no. If it can be makabel a brick to the length of 3 tefachim, ain't tzarich lavi kaira acheres. You don't need to bring another beam. And if not, meaning it can't hold the weight of a half a brick, then tzarich lavi kaira acheres. You do need to bring another beam. Are you achas l'mayla? This is the point that we're getting to. If you have these 2 beams, one is up, one is high, and one is lower, right? Meaning they're directly on top of each other. You look at the top beam as if it drops straight down onto the bottom beam, and you look at the bottom one as if it goes up, meaning you're basically looking at both beams as if they're the same. As long as the top beam is not higher than 20 amas, which is too high for a kaira, like we learned in the first daf. The tachtaina less than 10. Right? If both of these beams are within 20 tefachim, 20 amas, amrinun chavod rami, you say chavod rami, afa gav the less tefach, even though there's no tefach. So the whole point of this long kasha was basically the case where you have 2 beams that are less than a tefach, one on top of the other. As long as they're both within 20 amas, we look at it one that drops down on top of the other, and it's considered wide enough to be a kaira. So you see, you do say chavod rami even less than a tefach. Yeah? So you answer the back. You say that this is a pshat. As long as the top one is not above 20, it's within 20. And the lower one has to be within 3 tefachim. Right? Not unlimited, but only within 3 tefachim because it's lavud. Inami. Or you say, Bavad, the bottom one shouldn't be lower than 10. Above 10. And the top one should be close to it, less than 3. But if it's more than 3, keep it the less by tefach. Since there's no tefach, we don't say that we drop it down. So basically what the Gemara is saying now is that if the beams are on top of each other, we look at it as it drops down, but only within 3 tefachim. If it's more than 3 tefachim, then it's not lavud, and therefore it doesn't work. And the reason why it doesn't work for an unlimited amount of drop is because we don't say chavod rami, because it's less than a tefach. Yeah, I hope that's understandable. But the ending one says that
So there's 2 different kinds of chavod ramis? If the beam is more
What do
than
you
a
mean?
tefach, it goes any distance. If the beam is less than a tefach wide, it's only lavud.
If it go, yeah, but it's not chavod rami. It's just lavud. It's just lavud. Right?
So, okay.
Yeah, chavod rami can only be said if it's a tefach wide. Yeah. Now, you know where else it comes into the whole chavod rami could come in is a lot of people's houses, almost all people that have sukkahs against their house. So you have, parrots, you have this, right? The what do you call it?
The overhang.
roof.
The overhang.
Overhang, right? The overhang. So let's say the overhang, when you have 3-walled sukkah, so it's not an issue. But if you have only 2 walls and you have an overhang and that overhang is wider than 4 amas, so you don't say doifin akuma, right? But you might say chavod rami. You might be able to say chavod rami. That won't help you for the walls, but it'll help you to at least drop it down that it's not avir, right? That it's not avir, and at least it would be considered schach passul, not avir, right? Avir only gets 3 tefachim. Chavod rami, let's say that whole wall is 4 amas or whatever it is. You would say you drop that down. So okay, so it's 4 amas. Then you could start trying to play around with doifin akuma. Whatever it comes up, sometimes that you could say that the roof acts as a chavod rami. Fine. Okay, so let's see. If there's more shade than sun, it's kosher. Hok mashma, hok adadi, it's psul. It's mashma again. The Mishna says that if it's more shade than sun, it's kosher. Mashma, say 50-50, passul. But not beidach perkim, we learned in a different parak, shechamasa miru metzila, psula. If there's more sun than shade, meaning in the first Mishnah in the Masechta, it said if there's more sun than shade, it's passul. Haki adadi, if it's the same, then it's kosher. So like kasha, so it's a stira, meaning what's the 50-50, kosher or passul? So when I answer like kasha, kama lamala, kama lamata. One is talking about above, right under the schach, and one is talking about below on the floor. Meaning when it's above, if it's 50-50 above, then we know that when the sun shines through something or any light shines through, it expands. So if right under the schach, it's 50-50, that means on the floor there's way more sun than shade, and therefore it's going to be passul. But on the bottom, if it's 50-50, then for sure there's going to be, on the top, there's more shade than sun, and therefore you're going to be okay. So it's just a matter of where you're measuring. Yeah? Amar Papa, Hainu Damri Inchi, this is what people say, Kezuza Milael, Kastira Milatachas. When something is the size of a zuz on top, when there's light, the size of a zuz on top, it's on the bottom, it's going to be the size of an asira, which is much bigger, right? When you shine a light through a crack, in the beginning of the crack, it's a tiny light, but then the light expands. So therefore, you just have to make sure, if it's 50-50 on the top, then for sure, it's going to be no good on the bottom, because there's going to be much more sun than shade on the bottom. Yeah, fine. Ma'uva come in bias. This is a little, it's not complicated, it's just interesting how we come out. If the schach is thick like a house, if it's thick like a house, even if you can't see the stars, it's kosher. But let's say it's so thick that you can't see the sun. It literally means the stars of the sun. What it means is the sun rays. So Beis Shammai Poislin, Beis Shammai says it's passul, Beis Hillel Machshirin, and Beis Hillel says it's kosher. Right? So Beis Hillel holds that would still be passul, and because you have to have epis, some sort of light. And Beis Hillel says not. Right? So l'chari we wouldn't paskin like Beis Shammai, we paskin like Beis Hillel, it should be kosher. Yeah. So the thing is, Tosfos on Daf Beis Amud Aleph brings that there are those that hold that if the schach is so thick that rain can't get in it, then it's too much like a house. Yeah. And Mamela, you're not allowed to use that as a sukka. So that's where it comes from. Because if you go with the pasha, the reading of the Gemara, who cares how thick the schach is? Right? The Gemara here it has no problem. Beis Shammai maybe has a problem with it. We don't paskin like Beis Shammai. Right? So part of the issue is the Gemara. What is the Mishnah? Is the Mishnah lashon lechatchila or is the Mishnah lashon b'diavad? Right. So hama'ova kamin bayis sounds like if you make it thick enough like a house, then it's going to be kosher. Mashma, you shouldn't do that lechatchila. Right. And others say no, the Mishnah is lechatchila. So that's why lemaisa lechatchila people are machmer not to put on that much schach, right? But b'diavad, if you did, it's for sure not a problem, right? So that's that whole sugya. People are busy looking through the schach and they see the stars and not see the stars. That's all a b'diavad dikadin. L'chatchila, that's all a l'chatchila dikadin. B'diavad, it's going to be fine.
Where
Right?
does Basil
How does that work with asking like Beis Shammai?
How what?
How does that work as far as asking like Beis Shammai is concerned?
No,
We're not allowed to
talking
pass like
even
Beis
our
Shammai.
Mishnah. So we're talking about our Mishnah.
Yeah. But here you have a machlokes about the thickness according to Beis Shammai Beis Hillel. Beis Shammai
right
says it's
Shammai says
passul.
Passul even b'diavad. He's saying passul even b'diavad.
And Beis Hillel mavshir. So that means the Beis Hillel is also lechatchila.
I don't know. It
Machlokes
seems
passul.
like it. Lechatchila, you shouldn't make it so thick. B'diavad, it's okay.
The Beis Hillel is really masking to Beis Shammai. That's a lechatchila. It's an odd machlokes.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's what do you do with our Stam Mishnah?
So say it's not lechatchila. It's meager adin. It's kosher.
That's what they say. That's what some of the Mefarshim say, that the Mishnah HaMe'uva is mashma lashon b'diavad, not lechatchila.
So I'm asking, according to that, they run into a problem with machlokes Beis Shammai Beis Hillel. There's no machlokes.
Why? Not if you say that. Why not? B'diavad.
Because the whole machlokes is lechatchila. So this is the one place in Shas where you're allowed to really pass like Beis Shammai. Essentially.
Lechatchila, yeah. Saying, b'diavad, we would not pass like Beis Shammai. Yeah.
Yaakov, you should have dismissed the class first.
Should have, yes?
You should have dismissed the class first.
Okay, so the class is dismissed.
I just had to bust Gershon's chops a little bit.
Well, anyways, okay, so it is dismissed.
What time tomorrow?
What time tomorrow?
What time is early Shabbos?
The plug is 6:42, so probably gonna do mincha 6:25.
So 10 to again is fine because it's a short time. It's a very short time.
Oh, Rabbi told us.
Can we start 22 just in case there's issues with the phone again?
Gershon.
We don't have issues with the phone. We don't.
Gershon will mute you. Don't worry. We'll make sure there's
Not
no
my
issues,
phone.
Gershon.
You can mute me all you want.
I know.
I should be my regular internet again, which is usually pretty good.
Okay.
Yaakov, tomorrow I'm not sure what time I'm gonna be home, so you may have to hit record if you don't mind.
All right, just remind me if you don't mind.
I have the state by me, and
Now that I know that there's a little, now that I know that there's some fighting in Lumgus on this year, I think.
Oh, Marcus!
Madkala.
A stranger in the town. Look at this. Gee.
I'm not a stranger. I wave to you all the time.
I never see you.
Gershon,
I never see you waving.
Who?
Mordechai wants to join the Daf now, so he can fight with you after the Daf.
Russell's an easy fight. Russell's an easy fight.
For who? For me?
Yeah, he wants to fight with you like last night's fight.
Oh, that was a good one. Made no sense whatsoever the whole way through.
Where did Mordechai go?
Yeah, Mordechai left. Not sure why he came here, but he left.
Yeah.
Now I have to go check, see what he took.
Akiva's still on, or Akiva went off?
Akiva's here.
Akiva's here.
Say, what were you? Okay, I don't know if you want to get back to that Chavod Rami thing. But,
I don't mind going back to it.
Yaakov,
I
the
was
big
just
que-
asking.
Yaakov,
it
did you
seems like
catch the
it's
refuah van?
What?
Did you
I was
catch the
just
refuah
asking.
van or not?
Did I who?
Did you catch the refuah vehicle?
Yes, we caught it. We caught it. Now we're taking an X-ray tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Oi, what happened?
Got a bad back. I don't know, something on his back. He has a lot of pain in his back.
Which kid is this here?
Simcha.
Oi.
Mendel comes to me and says, Simcha's on the couch. He's having a meltdown.
I would say he has females in the family, but there's rife males, no?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Anyway, so what are you tining?
I was just asking that it's mashal from the way we're saying chaver rami that the space itself has to be a tefach, and even if above it is a tefach, if it's less than a tefach, the space, you wouldn't say chavet that the tefach board on top of it would fall down, it would drop down.
Right.
Which
Well,
is a
it's
little
three-way
strange. Why can't it
Machlokes.
drop down? It's a tefach. Why can't it drop down and cover more than just the
Right,
avir
who
itself?
cares? Who cares?
Right. Meaning, basically, they want you to play Tetris.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Gershon, what were you saying on that? Is he on this?
I was saying that if all we were trying to do with Chavad Rami is cover something, that would be okay. We're essentially trying to make something a wall, a mechitza. Mechitzas are flat. They're not bits and pieces just shoved together.
If you make a
I'm
mechitza
not
that's
saying-
bits and pieces shoved together, that's a mechitza still.
Yeah, but even you would call that b'diavad. It's not what
Why
we
is
would
that
call
b'diavad?
mechitza.
It still covers it. What
No, I'm
part
not
is
talking
missing
about.
of that
I'm not saying.
being considered-
I'm not saying a halachic b'diavad. But if you talk about a fence, if you want someone to build a fence around your backyard, and they build you a fence like that, you won't pay them. It's not a fence.
I don't think that's the lumdus of Chaver Rami. I don't think it's the lumdus of lavud. I don't think anything that matters because somebody won't pay for you. If somebody builds a fence with less than 3 tefachim between them, we consider that a halachic fence. We don't care if nobody would actually build a fence like that. I don't know. All right. Well, good conversation.
I don't know. I'm saying I know it's a three-way machlokes.
Right, and it
Rashi
seems like
clearly
it's
does not.
Rashi
clearly does not hold that you need it.
Oh, really?
That you need
You're
the
saying he
tefach
says the
space.
emphasis on the tefach on top. You're saying.
Yeah.
Hold on. If you
Yeah.
hold on a second, let me hold on. Let me see if I still have it on my thing.
The Rashi touches beinei and is bein a tachtonis l'olyonis, not between the two tachtonis.
Hold on a second. I can't find it now. What? Hold on. Yeah, Ran and the Ritva hold at the space on the bottom. Also, Rashi and Toises hold that it has to be. You only need the top ones to have chaver, to have a tefach. The Ran and the Ritva also say that it has to be a tefach in between, but not based on our Gemara.
Isn't that the way they
Sounds
touch
like
beinei?
there's other parts going to say that the bottom one needs to be really sounds like 2 tefachim, 1 tefach for the space, and 1 tefach for the wood on the bottom too.
What do you mean?
Meaning it's got the Yeah, the top one has to be wide enough to cover. No, the bottom one has to be, meaning it has to be a tefach. You need a tefach of space and also a tefach of solid.
wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't really understand that. Once you have that, according to the Gemara in Chaf Beis on base, according to half the Rishonim, that's already a kosher sukkah. What do you need the top ones for? That's 50-50.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Ah, wait, that's how Tosfos learns. That's why Tosfos learns here the other way.
Well, Tosfos is just learning a tefach. Right?
Oh, Tosfos and Amud Beis learns the 50-50. The Zuz Melamala and Isra Melamata is the opposite of Rashi. If you shine a light on something solid, the shade will widen as it goes down. Rashi's learning it's shining the light through a hole. So the light spreads. Like this Rashi Tosfos. So Tosfos learns that way. He has to learn here. The tefach b'neya means up to down.
I hear. It's interesting. We didn't even discuss really so much the difference between Chavetz Rami and tikrah.
Well, it's the Chavod Rami is more than tikrah. Tikrah just goes down and makes a solid wall. Chavod Rami is making a ceiling, really.
Well, it's not. It's more. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Hello.
yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go into Meyer and Satmer, and no smartphones allowed. So.
Kashikaya.
All right. Shkoyach. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes,